Yo, hi everybody. Welcome to the NPA stream draft season 12.
Hello, welcome.
I'm here with
Hello,
Banfox,
everyone.
Adi, and Polar
guys.
Bear.
Greetings.
Hi everybody. We have a Banfox fan.
Hi, Inka.
Aren't we all?
Yeah, we are all Banfox fans.
Yes.
Hi Yelge,
yes.
hi Tangy, hi everybody. So, how are we feeling about the draft? I think we're gonna see something great, starting with the retains. We've seen some drama already in the retains. So we're gonna talk about it. I'm gonna share the doc with you. And here we are.
What team do we want to start with? Do we go in order or?
Yeah, we start from the left, I think.
Okay.
And we have Sunrise with Ray and Clippers both at 10k. I think talking about Ray, Banfox and I can say.
Yeah, for 10k it's like minimum price for retain. I think it's a steal for sure.
Yeah, Ray, pretty good Italian player. He's been popping off in the online tournaments recently. And about Clippers, I'm going to let the American guys talk about Clippers.
I'll touch on him a bit. So in 2021, in Series 10, he was actually very, very strong early meta. He was like the first one to pilot this Zacian like Moltres Galler squad, like really pushed that and did very well in ladder with that. And then 2022, like his first live event was NAIC, and he went 6-3 there, just barely missing out on day 2.
Yeah,
somewhere in like the 40 to 50 range in placements, and then just recently got top 4 at San Diego. So
with the Dreadnought
seems to be improving
team, right?
at a very, very fast rate. Yes, very, very strong, in my opinion. And I talked with him a little bit in San Diego, and I think that he is he's gotten some confidence behind his skill too, which really pushes a long way.
Yeah, and most importantly, he has got a good result in Scarlet and Violet already, which is very important because this is the first NPA in this series of games. And going to the detectives, they have 2 great names. Actually, my stars, I don't know why he's so low on price.
Yeah, that's strange. And then we have also the old number 1 North American player, Joe.
Yeah, the last one to have.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Now it's Luca Paz, right?
Yeah, should be Luca.
Yeah, regional champion.
Liverpool regional champion. And we are talking about how Americans cannot win their own regionals, and they just come to Europe and win our regionals. So
Luca Paz es español.
Es español.
But yeah, I think Joe is kind of a no-brainer retain for 20k. You know.
Yeah, 20k is very low as a price.
It really comes down to like effort. I think if he's got his head in the game and he's putting his all in, he's one of the best players in the world. And you know, he went 4-2 last time with his 2 losses to Snow and Maluka, who are also 2 of the best players in the world. So he did a really good job last year, and I think he consistently does well in NPA. So would not surprise me. I think that's just a really solid retain.
Yeah.
And then my stars is a player that I know we were scouting on the puppies last year, because he had a really good showing in a lot of the online tournaments, and then did pretty well in his nationals. I forget which country he's from in Asia. Thailand, yeah. So he's done really well. It's hard to judge a lot of the Asian players in Series 1 and 2 because they haven't had any real life events. I think there's been 1 event so far in all of Asia, so it's hard to judge that type of player. But for 10k, it's really hard to go wrong.
Last thing on him. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe he was the Thailand national finalist as well and got a day 1 invite.
I think he
pretty
got
sure that's
top
what
4, at least top 4 for sure.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know if
he was running Zacian Kyogre.
Yeah.
Pretty much the whole way.
Yeah, I think he ran the standard Zacian Kyogre. So it was a pretty good run, actually. And going on to the Blizzards, I'm going to let you talk because I don't know the players that much.
So I know a bit Pazder. I don't think he has done too many in real life events, but he has been very consistent online and in team tournaments. And as I'm checking right now, last season of NPA, he went 5-2. The strange thing I'm noticing is that last season the price was 13.5, so I'm not sure if the retain price is correct or if the old price is wrong. That might have to be checked again, but he has been really good in these team tours. Chengfu, I don't really know though, so I'll let the others speak on him.
Chengfu, he was the guy that got second at the February Series 12 Challenge in February last year.
Okay.
And he ran like the Zacian, Groudon, Charizard stuff.
Okay, Rinnia-san.
And I think he went 8-1 Swiss as well.
Okay.
In that tournament. Because I think it wasn't like a day 2 Swiss, it was just cut the top 32 or whatever. And despite that, he's still like made it all the way to finals.
Okay, so he had a pretty solid run.
Yeah.
And do you know if
he is?
Yeah, go ahead.
He is so he's a Chinese player and new manager on the. So he played for Team China. I don't exactly know his record, but he has some experience in team tournaments as well. And he was on the Blizzards last year, of course. So they have some rapport. And then I know Izzy has a lot of connections in Team China, the new Blizzards manager.
Oh, okay.
And so if she chose to retain him, then they clearly know that he's been practicing. And yeah, it's always interesting with the Blizzards, especially this year, because they have a whole new suite of managers. And one of the things that they've been known for in the past, when Patrick and John Mark were the managers, were they had a lot of continuity. They really prioritized getting a lot of the same players over and over again.
To build up the teamwork over the years.
Mm-hmm. And so I'm going to be really interested, looking forward to this draft to see how, with 3 brand new managers, how the Blizzard's culture changes, whether they keep prioritizing some of those core players or whether they branch out a little bit more into some of the people that maybe the new managers know a little better.
Yeah, actually, past their price changed it right now, so we were listened to, and we're going to the cruisers who have the Snow Retain, the most solid NPA player in the last few years, I think. A memorable 11-0, I think 3 years ago from Snow. Japanese player, very solid. I think he got top cut at Worlds, I'm not sure.
Yep, top 4, 2017. Yep.
Yeah, I meant this year, sorry.
He went X3.
X3, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, but the run in 2017 was legendary. Yeah, hope we can see some pretty good picks and teams and matches from him also this year.
There's really not much to say on him, is there?
Yeah, 33k is the only thing we should talk about, actually, because it's a very high price, but you rely on him a lot because he's consistent.
So it's worth the 33.
Yeah, and
what we can say is that also for the cruisers, both the captain changed, as Izzy was an old cruiser captain, and now they have 3 new ones. So.
We have the draft, actually. Krelkrok has been nominated, so back to the draft.
Oh, wow.
And your cams are black. Okay, you appeared from nowhere. Krelkrok nominated by the Asukana Samurais, and he's already at 13.5k, actually. I don't know very well Krelkrok, so if you want to talk about it, you're welcome to.
In the words of
he got a Worlds invite in 2014, and I believe he went 3-3 because it was 6 rounds.
Okay.
And then he did top cut Worlds in 2017. I'm not too familiar with his nationals finishes. I know he finished pretty well, I think back in like 2012 or something.
Okay.
And he got top 16 at Worlds in 2017.
Yeah, that's more than enough to value a player, I think. Even though that's pretty far behind in time. So
Yes.
they're valuing this player a lot. And he went
He goes for 18.
18k to the cruisers. Yeah. So cruisers already have got Snow and Krelkorok. They're pretty low on money right now. But yeah, they have a lot of confidence in their players, actually. And
yeah, Krell was a player who's been playing in NPA for a long time, for as long as I can remember, which is pretty unique. He went for 20k to the Blizzards last year, and that's kind of been his price range. So it seems like kind of what we expected him to go for.
Okay.
I think he's been going for like that pretty much always. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
So the detectives nominated Slang. I'm not sure how you pronounce it.
TSL Tang.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a very good player.
Yes,
I know him only for online tournaments, but I'm pretty sure he's been popping off in those.
Yeah, I'm also sure he cut a regional or did well at the last American International.
Oh yeah, maybe top 16.
With the Kyogre composition with like Grims and Altunderos, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, okay. So
it was top 16 in both Secaucus and NAIC, I believe.
Okay,
yeah, so top 16 regional and top 16 IC.
And Secaucus was not a normal regional as well.
Yeah,
Secaucus
was very
event.
Yeah.
The City Crown got it.
Yeah, Crown got their first player, I think, or maybe they had retained one of their captains, their managers. Yeah, they got Binji and TSL Tang.
Yeah,
here we go. This is Maluka who got nom.
Yes. Yeah, Maluka got nom.
He's already up to 20k.
Yeah, already 25k.
He's already at 25.
More than justified.
What is the record for the most expensive NPA player? Because I think there's a non-zero chance he breaks it.
Yeah,
someone watching has to have that stat.
I think it's like Sejin for 40, way back.
Sejin, okay.
I don't think that's gonna happen yet.
Yeah, I didn't exist back then.
At like 30 something, and I could easily see him breaking that.
So we're close to the 30.
Yeah, I don't expect Maluka to go like at less than 33, maybe.
I mean, Snow's for 33 on a retain, so I could see him going maybe 35.
Yeah, he of course
40 is a bit much.
Yeah, we can see actually
because you're getting into your budget.
Symbionts are bidding for Maluka, even though he rejected the retain.
They might just be trying to increase the price for the other.
Yeah, they're probably just trying to run up samurais.
Yeah.
But who knows? Maybe they're pulling the rug.
I don't know.
He goes to the
samurais.
He goes
Fede didn't type the dot before the 31. So yeah, Maluka at Samurais for 31k, and Samurais already have Ray and Clippers as retains. They had like 2 players, very valuable players actually, at only 10k, so they can afford to spend 31k on Maluka, in my opinion.
Their draft is looking good for now. It's still early, so we'll see how it goes on.
Yeah, you're just...
So that's a good deal, because not only is he a good player, but he's known for like revolutionizing archetypes. No one was really using Excalibur Taurus until he topped the ladder with it.
Yeah.
And even then, of course, he was still the best player using it. Similarly, like Ice Rider Palkia was something that I think he invented in 2022, and even though he didn't go to real life tournaments, he was topping the ladder with it pretty consistently. And just to have his team building insight in a team chat is a huge bonus on top of his phenomenal play.
Yeah, I got to play with Maluka my second NPA, I think, and he was posting like really weird stuff, like really weird teams, and he had the explanation given to you. You could ask like, bro, why are you putting this in there? And he will give you explanations that made a lot of sense, but you would never think about it.
So Nails has been nominated by the Cruisers now.
Okay, Cruisers.
Nails is a really good friend of mine, Nick Navarre. He was the #1 player in North America in 2017. Yeah. He's just a very consistent player. Cut multiple regionals, won I think 2 regionals. And yeah, just a very, very good player. I don't think he's played an NPA in a few years. And I don't know if he's played in many team tournaments other than the Smogon League that's happening right now, where he is one of the captains. So it looks like that has maybe reinvigorated him and gotten him back into playing in team tournaments. But he's a very, very good player as someone who I prep with, and I'm really excited to see what he can do.
Yeah, I remember in 2017 he was a very solid player. I don't know if it was him playing the Metagross Chansey team. It was weird stuff. Yeah. So we can expect some weird picks also from Nick Navarre, and who is already at 13k actually. So,
yeah, it seems to be between Monarchs and Samurais for now, unless someone tries to jump in later on.
Yeah, Samurais are really pushing in this early draft for big names, and that's respectable. Meluka and Nails would be pretty dope, I think.
That would be a crazy team building combination.
Yeah, plus they also have already Ray and Clippers. Ray is really versatile. Like, he can take about any team and just play them. So
typical Ray, yeah.
And
okay,
the Monarchs
he went to the Monarchs for
that's a steal.
14
that is
and a half. Yeah, huge steal in my opinion.
Yeah.
And
I would have expected upwards of 20k personally.
Yeah, same. And I think there is a pretty good synergy because Monarchs have Sporific and T-Man. I don't know, Adi, I'm asking you if there is...
I mean, Justin, Nick, and I, and Rajan and a couple other people, we built our San Diego team together, so we definitely have experience. They definitely have experience working together. They've been working together for a couple of years now, so yeah, I mean, they know each other, they like each other, it works out. Same with Z. I think Z is also good friends with Nails, so it really made sense that they were the ones who bid the highest. I'm just surprised that no one else bid more than 14.
Yeah, I expected it to be like 20k, as Giovanni said. And we are back on the draft with Fede Campo, who recently went 9-0 in the Nino Poké Bros tour. So I expect him...
And Beanie tour yesterday. He went 9-0 there as well.
Yeah, he's doing very well online.
Okay.
Yeah. He's going 9-0 everywhere.
Yeah, no, I actually... Yeah, it was a mistake of mine. It was the Beanie, yeah. I went 9-0 and I don't know how it ended, but he won the first two tournaments on Scarlet and Violet. I know him pretty well, and he's been putting a lot of effort in the game. I expect him to go over 20k, and if he won't go over 20k, it's just because he has some history behind, and people are valuing that as well. But yeah,
I believe he also top cut Liverpool.
Yeah, he went 8-1. Okay. Yeah, 8-1.
Top 8 or top 16? I don't remember.
Top 16.
Yeah,
Okay.
he was on the side of the bracket that had 4 out of 4 rain teams.
Yeah.
Until top 8.
They were all similar, and he lost to super mirror attacked rain team.
Went to the Symbionts.
He went to the Symbionts for 65, yeah, 16 and a half K. So
it's sad enough.
Oh, Ari nominated.
I don't know. Interesting.
How much do you think will pay for you?
Being not retained in a few years. I was retained in the puppies for the last 2 years, and we of course won back-to-back NPA championships. So now I'm excited. I don't know where I'm going. Haven't had a ton of teams reach out to me, but I'm friends with a lot of the managers. So
yeah, so you're fine with either one of those. Let's see, already 16k for
I'm spamming that.
Yeah,
too much.
So Samurais and Stars battling each other.
Yeah.
There are 18k.
Seems to have left the bidding.
Okay, Duckpond says that Nails mentioned not putting too much effort into NPA, so that's why maybe we haven't seen him go too high.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay, Adi to the Samurais for 19k. So
yeah,
Samurais...
honestly, Samurai is looking quite stacked.
I'm happy with that. I'm happy to be with Meluka.
And yeah, I'm excited to be with Meluka. This can be fun.
Yeah, so Iceberg nominated Luca Paz, Liverpool regional champion, and yeah,
number one player in the world right now.
Yeah, he's number one player right now.
And I expect him to be like over 15k for sure, and we are already at 15k. Yeah.
He was also a finalist at 2 internets and seniors before aging up. And I remember him being even very strong back then. So it's like very cool to see how he's translated that skill into Masters finishes.
Yeah, also Fedecampo is pretty new as Master. This is his second year as Master.
Yeah, the first year was... Like, the first tournament was the Worlds last year.
Yeah.
So, Iceberg went to Detectives for 16k, and Aurora Queza has already been nominated. Very strong British player, and I expect him to go, very high as well, around 20k, and we're already at 17. Like yeah. I don't know if you guys have ever shared a team tournament with him, but I haven't known him very well actually. So if you know Taran, you want to say anything, I don't know, Banfox.
I don't personally know him too much. I talk to him from time to time in tournaments in real life, but aside of that, I don't think I ever played in a team tournament with him. So can't say much.
I don't know on a personal level either, but if you top 8 in internets, is there really much more justification you need there?
Yeah.
I mean, he was also undefeated at Liverpool the previous year, and then bubbled Liverpool this year by 1 spot. So,
do you remember how well did he do in North America International? I think he did pretty well even there.
Top 4. Yeah, he went for a 20k and a half to Puppies. I think it's the first pick from Puppies.
Aside of the retains?
Yeah, the retains. Yeah. Talon and the Wobbuffet. And now Raghav has been nominated. Raghav, he is pretty strong North American player. I expect him to go very high because his team building is pretty singular, I would say. He often had pretty weird picks in standard comps, actually.
Yeah, he's a phenomenal player. I think he got top 4 at Oceania Internats in 2020. And he's won a regional. He won one of the California regionals a couple of years ago. So he's a very established player. It's definitely still he definitely has the best to come. I think he's really gearing up for a really successful season this year. So I'm excited to see what he can do as well. And yeah, I think he's also just a well-liked person. He's a good team builder, a phenomenal team builder. So it would not shock me to go if he goes for a decent amount.
Yeah, we're seeing Detectives and Samurais.
Seems to be slowing down now.
Yeah, I think we have Raghav at Samurais for 13k and a half. So he's with Adi. You're going to be teammates with Maluka. I am afraid of your team, and luckily I'm not playing the tournament. Likely, so
they almost finished. So the Samurais almost finished their credits, but their draft is looking really solid. So
yeah, they have 5 really solid picks, and they can go for maybe some underdogs they have spotted in the signups.
Sure. The minimum player they still need to have is 4, right?
Yeah, they need 4 more, and they have 36.5 to do so.
Yeah, it's still good.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, actually, I don't have the doc right here. Okay, so now the prices and the remaining credits are updated on the graphic. And
so Avatar named the Talon, but he was retained. So
yeah, let's see.
Tough here for him.
Okay, no, he's still trying. He's still trying to nominate him. No, we don't know what is gonna happen.
We didn't get to talk about the Puppies retains, but yeah, they retained Cedric, who's former Dallas regional champion, and DeWalk, who of course everyone knows. So 2 very good players for a very cheap price for who they are. So they're definitely set up for success, especially with A-Ray on the team as well.
Yeah, that's a pretty good team they've built up with the first, I think, 45k credits. Yeah, and 75k to get at least 6 people is more than enough, in my opinion. I think it depends on what kind of draft you want to go for.
So they named the Super Santino.
Yeah, right now we have Santino nominated by Symbionts, and it's already at 7K, and he got a win in the Players Cup 1, I think, Players Cup 1, with the Colossal team.
No, he also won like the
Invitational.
Cup. Invitational. It's cool.
Yeah, the 25th Invitational. Yeah.
Yeah, and
he's a really good player. He got top 8 at New Jersey Regionals last year as well. And to me, I think what impressed me the most about him is that both Players Cup 1 and the Series 10 Invitational were really early format events, and he just broke the format and built a team that no one had really seen coming, and did spike the tournament, just did super well. And so especially now with Series changing, I think he's going to do really well because it's going to be a lot more early format appealing events.
Yeah, that's a good point of view. Actually, I have never seen anyone in that way. So yeah, you say it's he being a good early format builder makes him stronger in the series.
Yeah. Plus, will the series changes in March, right? At the end of March. So
the end of March, yeah.
Gets another early meta to practice on.
Yeah. And okay, he went to Puppies for almost 20K. So the Puppies, we were talking about them earlier. They have Talon, the Wobbuffet, Aura Rayquaza, and Super Santi. So yeah, it's a pretty good draft. And they have 55K left. So Yuri got nominated. He's been signing up this year for the first time in a long time, actually, because he's not joined very much any team tournament, and he decided to join this NPA to maybe come back in the team tournaments. And we've seen him go 7-2 and bubble the top cut in Liverpool with a team. I think he's taken the day before the tournament as he often does. So yeah, if he can practice alongside with very good players, not that he isn't, obviously, I think he can provide very good stuff to the team.
I think Yuri is the classic example of a player who shows that team building and playing are very different skills, because he is maybe one of the best players in the world and does not team build very much at all.
Yeah. He always asks for
say, he dominated 2018 with one archetype. I mean, he reached over 2000 CP with playing Metagross stuff exclusively.
So he went to Monarchs
14
only 14-5. So Banfox nominated. We're here talking about Andre. Banfox has won the London Open this year afterwards, and yeah, he's been doing very well, I think, in other team tournaments.
I think I'm still number 1 player in Europe, maybe.
You should be. Yeah.
Let's see.
Until Orlando, where Kevin Salvato is going to win the regional. Yeah, already 17K.
Yeah.
18 stars and detectives. Okay,
so,
pretty much everybody. Okay,
honestly,
they stopped. Okay.
No, they didn't stop apparently. I expected less because, as Nails, I said in the when I joined for the NPA, I said I couldn't put too much time. I was pretty busy, so I didn't expect to go for this much. But I guess I'll take it.
Yeah. But
I think you also get a lot of credit for nobody really believed in Slowbro when you're using it, and you were just fearless. I'm gonna bring it anyway. I don't care. It works for my team, and it did work for Veldon then, and it was a crucial Pokemon.
Yeah, and you were crucial too because you helped me a lot in practice, Giovanni. So
yeah, we have the bros here in the call. Oh, let's see. We are okay. 22K and a half to these stars, together with Brede and Hobbit. So Brede, I think he's Norwegian.
Jimmy is the captain. Okay.
Yeah. Brede, I think, is Norwegian. I would say.
Yes.
Yeah, and he was with us at the SCL, right? Giovanni?
Yes.
Yeah, so
he was the manager, yeah.
Yeah, he provided a lot of helpful things, opinions, and team building practice, everything. So I think he's a pretty good teammate. And we're going... Oh, okay, Battle Room got nominated. So Colin Hire, I can't remember his placement in the regional, North American regional this year.
He made it to top 32 or top 16.
Okay.
I know he top cut.
Yeah, still top cut, yeah.
I think he also won an online tournament earlier on. Not sure which one though.
Well, he won an online tournament. That's pretty valuable. And we are only at 8K. Oh, 8K?
Wow.
That's
What?
really a steal for
What is this?
That's
What?
unbelievable.
Like honestly, for 8K, I'd be already thinking of retaining him next year.
Detectives caught everyone else sleeping.
Yeah, I have no idea what is happening.
That's unbelievable.
Like,
honestly, retain him next year already.
Yeah, and they have Joe, My Stars, Iceberg, and Battle Room. I mean, this is a pretty dope team. And Chicha got nominated. Italian player. I think Ben Fox can talk some more.
Good friend of mine. He's been doing very well, especially online. And he recently also did well in Liverpool. He ended in top 8, I think. And lost against his friend Pardini. And he's very original as a team builder. I remember during the I don't remember the exact series, maybe series 8, something like that. He brought binding dust clubs, stuff like that. So he always trying to find some niche techs and stuff like that. So I expect him to go high.
Yeah, he's already.
Yeah, he's going very high already. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's a player who plays a lot on the ladder, so he can provide opinions and stuff about everything that there is in top ladder, because he's also very high in ladder. And he went for 23k to Symbionts, who are building their Italian comp, as they've done in the past. So
justified. Yeah.
So 2 players and 59k. No, yeah, 59k for 2 players, but they are very good players and they know each other. They tested together for Liverpool. And I'm going to let you talk about this player, Dorsey, because I think you know him more.
So he's actually from a little before my time. I think he retired in 2017. He's a New York player, but he recently came back. He top cut San Diego regionals. I think he went 1-2 to 7-2 or 1-2 to 8-2 in top cut. So he's he's well known in the community. He's well loved in the community, and I know he's really good friends with Jeremy Adetta, who is the captain for Postweek. So I think they'll go all out to get him. And 10K,
they got him.
Really depends on how committed he is to continuing to play VGC. But if he's playing and he's playing at the level he was back in 2016, 2017, that's definitely worth it.
So he went to the San Diego, right?
Yeah, he got San Diego.
What did he do? I don't remember personally.
A2?
He was top 32.
Top 32.
Oh yeah, that's already a good comeback after many years.
Yeah.
So good hopes.
And Willie got nominated. I'm going to let you talk about him as well. So
he was on the puppies for a couple years, and of course NPA champion on the puppies. He's also very good friends with the Samurai's managers, so I think that wouldn't shock me if either of those two teams bid on him. But yeah, he won a couple really big online tournaments during the pandemic, and I think that he's had I don't think he has any real life results because of where he lives. He hasn't gone to a ton of events, but definitely a very talented player.
I know he went to the Canada regional.
Yeah, but I didn't think I didn't think it would have gone for 7k. Actually, I expected him to go
as much NPA experience was him. I would think that he would go for more, but
yeah, me too. I guess he has been maybe quite silent lately, so that may have lowered the price overall.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and one of the things that's always hard to evaluate is how players who started in a generation can translate their skills to a new generation.
Sure.
Some people make the transition a lot easier than others. And so I haven't really talked to Willie in the last couple months. So I don't know how he's been faring in 2022, but that's something that for players who started in 2020, 2021, you do have to kind of know them a little better to be able to evaluate effectively.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Pretty good. Yeah, still 7K is too low as a price. And as we wait for, okay, we have the nomination, Kyogre SG. I know this nickname. I just can't quite remember who the player is. I
don't know the nickname.
I can speak on this a little bit.
Yeah, okay.
Kyogre SG, he played for Team China, I believe, back-to-back years. And he was the one that was dominating in 2021 when it was Series 10. I believe he was undefeated until playoffs, or only dropped like one set. And then even then only dropped like 3 or 4 games throughout the entirety of World Cup.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's insane.
And I think it was a big reason that China was able to push that far. He was very strong the whole way through. Very dependable player.
They know
and
their
it's
name
really
also.
shocking to see him go for 13K.
Yeah, 13K to Blizzards. And is he the same player who invented the Kyogre Torkoal core?
That would be Yosuke Sage Yanagi.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Red Silver nominated.
Red Silver.
Who recently tweeted, let's see if I can get results without Shedinja. And we're going to see if he can come back.
Did he go to Liverpool or not?
Yeah, I can't remember the score. I think maybe 6-3. For sure it wasn't X2.
I am pretty sure it wasn't in Top Cut, but outside of that, I don't know.
I can check real quick.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, not so real quick, but I can check. 14K already for the French player. Okay, 14K is the price. Going to Symbionts.
I don't know about the Symbionts mixing Italian and French.
Yeah.
I do think that it was nice to have players in the same time zone, so you have chat activity around.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Technically speaking, it was more of a joke, but.
Yeah, and Vio Phoenix nominated from Detectives, and they got this player for 3K. I don't know who this player is actually.
Me neither.
So I can look up in the signups.
It looks like they played for Team Germany in the World Cup and don't have a ton of notable accomplishments. Okay. So maybe a player that the Detectives, who of course have Marcus as a major player.
Exactly.
Marcus probably knows him better than for sure.
Yeah, they've seen this 3K pick and went for it instantly. So yeah, pretty bold of them to go for a 3K pick this early. I would say we're in the early part of the draft still.
I mean,
and Desu nominated. Dave Cognetta. He's a very good player from Italy, and I've been talking to him pretty much, in Liverpool, but I haven't heard of him testing anything. I know he streams and he is playing a lot this year, and he plans to go to Bochum. But yeah, overall 2 IC finals, so pretty solid. He, as Yuri, hasn't played any team tours recently, so he's been trying to get back into them, specifically with this season.
He has a younger brother too, which I think might actually help, keep him motivated.
Yeah, I think the little brother went to Liverpool too and did very well, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, actually,
I'm curious.
Go ahead.
I'm curious if the Cruisers are going to keep bidding, because they don't have any players yet.
Cruisers? Okay, yeah.
Samurai's got this as well.
Sorry.
Honestly, the Samurai's draft is looking very, very good.
Yeah, Samurai's have...
They're making very good use of their credit per value.
Yeah, and...
I don't know, they overpaid for me. But, No, Desu is, I think in 2020 he was the best player in the world. His like scope of result in 2020 across the entire like 3 or 4 formats was really, really impressive, and he built some really cool teams.
Yeah.
And he's done it in every format, so it wouldn't shock me to see him pop off again this year. Although, like you said, Team Tours is maybe not his forte, so we'll see.
Yeah, and Chongjun has been nominated.
Yeah.
Chongjun, one of the best Rinyasan users in the previous format, and I think he can transfer the skill with Rinyasan in other formats and other teams, and he's already at 15k and a half, 16 for puppies. I don't know if you guys, Ari and Giovanni, have played against him and know how hard it is to win.
I did have the pleasure of playing against him once. It was at Milwaukee Regionals, and we were at X1. Yeah, like even if I was making the correct calls, like he was still playing proactively, like with Charizard on that team, to the point where the speed control would just run over you if you made one mistake. Like he's very good at controlling his board positioning. And I think especially in Terras, like if he gets it down, like he's good to go.
Yeah, because field control is very important in these formats, I think. And he went for 20k and a half to Crown, who have already had Binji. So they have Binji and Chongjun, pretty strong core. And now it's up to the detectives to nominate a player.
And notably, all 3 of their players, as well as Andrew, are all Chinese Americans.
Yeah,
they
exactly.
all were in the Chinese team in the World Cup, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so, yeah.
And
so they definitely know each other very well, and they're friends. So looking solid as a team.
And Amaze got nominated. I don't know this player, so I might have to look.
Say Malaysian player.
Malaysian, okay.
I know I've seen their results online a couple times in the Dynamax era. I don't know much else about them.
Okay, I'm just okay.
I know he's on like
now.
I know he's on the Twilight Wings in VCL.
Okay.
And he works a lot with like the Thai crew, I believe. Like he's good friends with My Stars and whatnot. So it would not surprise me if he went to the detectives here.
Yeah, so you think they are going to be this player synergy, and that's very important.
I think they want this pair of friends to stay together.
Yeah, he is a Thai player.
Like they might pay 12k for this.
Went for 8.5, so
8.5k. Okay, we're going to see how this player can do in the tournament, because
that's a good deal in my opinion, because I think he's pretty strong.
Okay. Oh, Danetti. Danetti is a pretty good friend of mine.
Is it Italian Danetti? Yeah, it's him. Okay.
Yeah. And he has done pretty well in the SCL. And I know he's pretty close to some of the managers. And Tam here, getting Danetti for 4k. I think that's a very good price. I expect Danetti to go for something like 7k in an international tournament. So 4k is a very good price, and he can play pretty well and pretty much every team. So yeah, we'll see.
I remember it was a big Kyurem Shedinja fan.
That's kind of that's kind of not okay. But yeah,
we can only improve from there.
Yeah, I was testing for London, and he told me, just go for a Kyurem Shedinja, and I resisted the temptation. Siddharth got nominated.
This is Ink, I believe.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so he's a newer player who did really well in the Dynamax formats, and then got top 16 at NAIC, just grinding the same Torn Ogre team throughout the year. Also got top 16 at Jersey, top 32 at Indianapolis, just barely bubbling those 2 events. So he's a player who's very young, still improving very quickly, very hungry, and I'm not sure again how his skills are going to translate to the new era of terrestrialization.
Yeah.
But I think he's going to do well. I think he's got the mindset to do well.
Yeah, and if I recall correctly, in team tours, he's always done well. And
that sounds about right. I can't remember a time where he's like had an even record or like a losing record.
Yeah. And he's already at 18K. So they are putting 19K. They're putting all their faith.
Probably going over the
in
I
this
think
deck.
this is gonna go to detectives because I know Marcus used Siddharth's team at Worlds. Or a very like the 6 Pokemon. I don't know if it's the exact spreads, but
yeah, so
that's
he went
why
to
I think
detectives.
that detectives were hunting him for sure.
Yeah, you were right. So detectives already with a really good team actually, and they have pretty high money right now. And Liakos, okay.
Yeah, the fact they got Bathroom AK was the biggest steal, and also Jokes, Bathroom, and Siddharth are all friends, if I recall correctly. So it's also team composition there.
And Liakos went to 20K instantly.
Not surprised.
Yeah, I'm not sure how they went up so early in the in the bidding.
Honestly, I remember that like
Stars really wanted him, so they jumped from 8K to 20K on their bid.
Yeah.
I think the jump is quite big. Like they could have gone for less, but Lycos was very good in the last formats. Did very well in online tournaments and in team tournaments. He played also with the puppies in NPA 10 and did very well. So we'll have to see how it does now in the new format.
Yeah, and
next we have Dim.
Got nominated.
This is Toller Webb, 2015 U.S. national champion and 2012 seniors world champion.
Okay.
He's been playing pretty actively in Scarlet Violet. I know that he played in the Galar Farewell tournament as well.
Okay.
So like, I think Worlds was probably the biggest motivator for him. I'm sure that once he like watched on from home and saw that, because that was like a historic Worlds in its own. He was like pretty motivated to get back into the game, and just started picking up from there and going.
Yeah, so I didn't know him actually, and sounds like a pretty solid pick, and that's why he's already at 17K.
Mm-hmm. And this is like similar to the Lorsi pick, where older players getting back into the game, it's hit or miss whether they like continue to play and keep motivated after a couple months after the game's release. If he's playing and he's playing seriously, he is easily worth this. If he kind of decides he gets bored of this, then it's hard to say he's not going to be right. So it's hit or miss, but if he pops off, he's going to pop off.
Yeah, so we are already at 20K, and I think this is going to be the final prize. Yeah. United got Dim for 20K. Okay, pretty confident.
And so they also got Lorsi, so they're really stacking. Aaron's been around for a long time as well. The manager is playing.
Yeah.
So they're really stacking these old school players, and I think that they're going to motivate each other to keep playing.
Yeah, that's pretty solid point. And River got nominated. Pretty slow drafting.
This is Black, right?
Like
River is
River
Davis, right?
Yeah.
I don't know who River
He won a
is.
regional. He won Vancouver regionals in 2017.
Wow. 3.5.
They've been grinding online tournaments. They used the same team as Zomog in San Diego and got top 64, went 7-3.
That's unbelievable.
I've seen them.
3.5 for a regional champion, then it's very good.
So
he's cut like 4 other regionals too.
I think 3.5K is not it's not the correct price, I think.
That's unbelievable. Yeah.
And Pengi also going very slow with the bidding, and 4K. Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Back-to-back regional champions that go for like 4K. That's
So I personally didn't know River, and you say was a regional champion in 2017.
Yes.
I was checking the sign-up form, and basically it didn't say anything. So maybe if some captains are a bit, I don't know, newer and they didn't know him like I didn't, that's maybe the reason it didn't go for a higher price.
Yeah,
that
makes
is
sense.
him. That is him. I recognize his
Polar Bear nominated.
Yeah, there's. Oh.
Oh, there he is. And my teammate in the SCL, pretty good player, I would say. Good testing mate, and I I think you won a tournament in Spikemuth, right?
Yeah, it was the first the Nino Friday fight tournament or whatever.
Yeah.
And I used this Raikou Sunny Day stuff with Heatran to beat the Ninetales stuff that was common. That was funny.
Yeah, so that gives that's an example of what the mind of this guy can think of. And in these team tours where you change teams every week, we can expect some weird stuff.
And you're with me. Let's go.
Oh, let's go. And to Celestic Stars for 14.5k. With Brede, who was with you in the SCL. So you already know some of your teammates. I don't know if you ever played with Hobbit.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. He was with us, right? In the SCL?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, okay. So the SCL team all together. Kiriaku knew you from the SCL tour, actually. So he's recreating the team. And Paul J. Spear to Stars as well. Yeah.
I don't know much about him as a player, but he was a helper on the Puppies. I forget if it was last year or 2 years ago. And he was a really good chat
he's British, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, and 3K and a half.
Liverpool last year.
Top 32 last year. Okay.
Yeah, with some drag couple Zashi and Kyogre, I believe.
I love that team. Yeah. Yeah, 3.5 I think is pretty low actually. Oh, Trainer Rob, another Italian player. Banfox can say a lot more than me about.
So I think he's pretty good player. Likes to go more for offensive teams, and he did very well at the Open. He got top 16, I think. No, at the Worlds, I mean, right? Or something
going
top 16. Top 16. Yeah,
it's all right, you know.
Yeah,
it's just all right.
Oh, in Italy, in team tours in Italy, has this tradition where, personally, he doesn't go very well with his personal score, but his team does very well. So it's more of a lucky charm in team tours.
Yeah.
So but 6K for top 16 at Worlds is a very good price.
Yeah,
I get the gist of the Samurai.
6K.
He was on the Samurai last year, but they just didn't have the money to bid on him.
Yeah, and 6K is still a very good price, I'd say, because Robertino, Trainer Rob, is a pretty peculiar builder, I'd say. So you don't know what he's gonna play the next week. He could change his score once and for all. It will still be an hyper-offensive core, but he can change damage dealers. And
speaking of World's top cuts, we have Calvonix. Foster. Yeah.
Top 8,
Scottish
right?
player. Yes, top 8. Yeah.
Yeah, lately, in the last few years, I'd say, he's been improving a lot. Because 4 years ago, I wouldn't have said Calvonix is one of the top players in Europe, and now we have to say, because after World's Cut, you have to say that Calvonix is one of the most solid players in Europe. And I've also played Among Us with him a few times, so I can say he's a very good dude. And so yeah, team mood is going to be fine with him, I think. 10k for Calvonix.
Low price
again for World Zernogre in 2019 as well. He won the Nanterre special event post Worlds with Zernogre, so that's
yeah, I didn't remember that. Oh, FaZe. FaZe nominated.
Top 8 at Worlds. I mean top 8 regional Liverpool.
So we're back to the European players.
Yeah, and FaZe. Let's see if Marcus is going to bid for FaZe. Because they're both Germans, and I've seen them talk quite a lot at the Liverpool regional, so I think they know each other pretty well.
Puppies are going to bid quite a bit, I think. I'm pretty sure he was helper in the Puppies a few years ago, in NPA 10.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, it seems Puppies
United, yeah. And
he should be going for a lot. He just came off of a top 4 finish at Liverpool.
Yeah, and actually Marcus is not bidding, so I was wrong, and yeah, puppies are bidding because of. Oh,
there he
is.
There he is.
Marcus is bidding.
Yes.
Yeah, Faye is pretty solid player. Actually, I remember in 2019 in the UIC, he was 8-0 in day one.
Yeah.
He then finished 8-1. Yeah, he had pretty solid run in that AC, and yeah, Marcus actually, yeah, he got it. He got him for 17k, and that's a pretty good price, I think. Like pretty honest. Okay.
That seems like a good price, yeah.
That one says, in case you missed it, in between the next two Samurais nominations, we'll have a 5 minutes break. Just 5 minutes. Okay.
So, Gaku. I was with Gaku at the last PGL. He's a very good player.
Yeah, I think he got some kind of result in one of the last online tournaments. I cannot remember which one.
He placed top 8 at the Limitless tournament at the beginning of Scarlet Violet.
Okay. Yeah, and yeah,
I starts for 5.5. Good price.
5.5. Yeah, it's a very good price actually.
That's unbelievable, actually.
Yeah,
and so
pretty huge
I just thought
steal.
that
Good
he's a player who has been a Blizzard for the last couple of years, and I thought the Blizzards would keep bidding on them. But Tam
wasn't he the
I think
the SEO?
Tam tried. I mean, she wrote 5.5, but I mean, she tried to bid for him, but Yaku bid the same price before her, so she missed it, I guess.
Yeah, and I don't know if she meant to bid more or just kind of said that was the cutoff. But it's interesting that he has now found a new team.
Yeah. So Kiryaku, so he's with you guys, right? Yeah. And let's see. You will maybe tell us if he is cracked as we think he is, or if he's just a clown. But I don't think so. I think he will prove himself to be a pretty good player. And I don't know, they're chatting in the showdown room. Okay, Nowak got nominated. Pretty good American player.
Was with the puppies last year, right?
Yeah, he's a fantastic dude on the puppies the last few years. He notably, I think, made Day 2 Worlds like 3 straight years out of Day 1. I don't think he ever did actually well at Day 2 Worlds, but he's like very, very consistent across formats, and you really can't go wrong with him. Great chat presence on the puppies. Went 4-3 last year. Played every week, so yeah, no, he's definitely worth whatever he goes for, and it looks like the puppies really want it back.
Yep.
Yeah, I was with him in Team Tour in 2018, and back then he was very active, also in IRL tournaments, and he was pretty strong, and also helped to test all the other teammates, and he's already at 12k. Sorry. Yeah,
and he really fits that description of Post-Wick United, where they're looking for old school players, because he's been around forever. Same with the puppies to some extent, where Talon and Dewabafet have both been around forever as well, and he fit that like older core that we had last year.
Yeah.
He's also not scared to bring like quote rogue picks. Like in 2016, where he top 16 worlds, he brought Raidon.
Yeah.
In 17 worlds, I thought he brought some like really offensive Bulu Nihiligo stuff, and then 18 worlds he brought Greninja. Like he's not afraid to push the boundaries, and not surprised to see him go for 13.5.
Yeah, 13.5 at puppies, as we were saying, and yeah, puppies already with a huge core.
Cores don't change it. I mean, that's what the puppies are doing.
Yeah.
3 players again, so sounds good.
Crystal, I think this is the Crystal who built the main Zacian Kyogre last year, and that was used then for I think quite like 2 months.
That was the team that Peng used, right? To win regional.
And that team, like we've seen it, we've seen 3 of those in the Bremen top 4, won by Kamikaze, and yeah, let's see if this year he can pull off something like that as well.
Yeah, one thing to note is he's a Korean player as well.
Yeah.
So time zones are like something to consider here, but I don't think it should be that much of an issue. considering how good he is, and I expect him to be pretty active as well. So
yeah, and we've seen Avatar Fede just coming out of the blue with 10k bid, and Marcus actually replied. But yeah, they're battling each other over Crystal. I think pretty good player. So I think at Nationals, he also had a pretty good placement. I'm not sure about that though.
Yeah, I think as well.
Who showed up of the Korean players? I don't think it was Crystal. Maybe he did. I don't remember.
I can check up.
So it seems to be closing. No.
So
Oops.
it wasn't okay. It wasn't Nationals. Maybe it was. No, Players Cup. No, they didn't have the Players Cup. They had Nationals. Yeah.
I know he won like one of the biggest Victory Road tournaments. I think it might have been Road to Columbus that he ended up winning. That might not be correct though. Don't quote me on that. But he won a huge Victory Road tournament.
Well, anyways, with the Symbionts, with the two Italians and the French player, so...
Yeah, New Maluka, says Humphy. I love Humphy.
So time zone-wise, for now, he's a bit the outsider in the group.
Yeah.
But
and looks like we are over the mid-draft, because many teams have less than... I mean, all the teams have less than half their money, because they all started with 120k, and they're all below 60k. So let's see. The draft should be interesting from now on. And
so Blizzard and United have the most credits for now, but there are a lot of teams around the 50k, so there's still a lot of margin.
Stars also have 54.
Oh yeah, right. Samurais are the one with the... No, Detectives actually have the least credits than Samurais now. Yeah, they are almost done with their draft, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Because Detectives have 18k, but they need at least one player, while Samurais have 23k and they need at least 3 more. So Detectives are pretty good with their draft, I think. Battle Room Steel is what made the difference from them. And yeah, that's what let them pick FaZe with that much confidence, I think.
Yeah, FaZe, Siddharth, Battle Room, Luca Paz, Njox, and My Stars, it's really solid as a team already. Plus, they got already the low German pick for 3k instantly, so they're looking very good right now.
And Mao got nominated. I think you guys... Yeah,
Jackson
Adi.
Finch,
yes.
Los Angeles player or SoCal player. He got top 8 at NAIC in 2018 with the Sun. I don't think he gets to travel to too many events nowadays, but he's been playing on the Monarchs for the last several years, and has been a mainstay on that team and has very consistently been very good in NPA. So would not shock me for the Monarchs to kind of go all out for him. But yeah, I think he's a very good Team Tour player.
Yeah, the Monarchs have to not retain Mao because they have retained themselves. Like T-Man and Sporific are both managers, and they got to play at the price of 25k
so last
each.
Season, Mao went for 3-2 with the Monarchs.
Yeah.
So let's see if they insist for him or they leave it to the Samurais.
No, I don't think they will leave him. I think they will stick to their cause. And Samurais raise the price for a bit until 7k for Mao. And it's up to Blizzards now. Mao, as Adi said, pretty solid pick for Monarchs. I think he's been there like for the last 5 years at least. Yeah, so he's been there forever. And yeah, so okay, Adi VGC, I think he or they, I don't know, they are Chinese player, but I don't know much about them. I just know that in Team China they did pretty well this year at World Cup, and I don't even know if they are currently in China or if they are as Chongjin in America right now. But they are already.
I don't know. Like the Ari I know is French, so.
Yeah. They're already at 8K. I don't know if you guys, Giovanni and Ari, know if they are in America right now, or
I believe they're in China because they're GMT +8 on the submission form.
Yeah, so yeah, they should be in China. And
Could we
9K.
go to the Samurais? Yeah.
Yeah, Samurais. Okay, so they are with Ari.
Yeah, draft strategy wise, it felt like the Samurais. We got to pick one more like high value player before filling out a roster with.
You're probably not going to have any extra player and just going for the minimum amount required at this point.
Exactly.
Yeah, and so for the Samurais managers to pick Ari means that they're really confident. I don't know much about this person, but they seem really confident to have this be their like mid-range player they pick.
Yeah. And we can look at the doc for a bit right now. See the condition of the draft.
So after the next Samurai pick, we
can't. We can't because Teka got nominated, and Teka is a pretty good South American player. I don't know where exactly he's from.
3K. And
3K for Teka. Okay.
Good for the detectives.
Yeah, good for them.
Okay.
I don't know. I have no idea.
I thought the Symbiont would have tried to update for him, but
yeah, apparently no, they won't. But yeah, 3K is an absolute steal, and let's see how he's gonna do. And we're gonna have a 5-minute break right now. No, okay, 1 bit and then the break,
and then before the next one.
Yeah, and Metapod, so another Chinese player. I have no idea how it's done in the tournament, so I know
I can speak.
Yep.
Me too. This is Zhe Zhang, who.
Oh, Zhe Zhang. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And he got top 8 at Internets.
Oh yeah,
this past year.
Another Evil Dawn player.
Yeah.
Yeah. He barely missed. I think he got like 18th at New Jersey Regionals as well, which we've already emphasized how stacked that tournament was. So very surprising to see him going to go for some.
No idea this was his nick. So yeah, Zhe Zhang, of course,
7K, very good price.
Yeah, and of course, Zhe Zhang went from 0-2 to 7-2, I think, in day 1 at London this year at Worlds. So pretty huge performance there. And yeah, he went to the Monarchs. So we can see the state of the draft right now in this 5-minute break. Samurais, as we've said, have a lot of top players, and they are low on money though. So they're going to have 2 picks, I think. If they can manage to get more than 2 picks, I will be surprised. And Detectives have filled their 10 spots, not 10, 9 spots, and they are chilling right now. So they're probably going for their 3K picks they've prepared. And
I mean, they already got Teka for a 3K, which
I don't think it was scripted as a 3K pick.
Yeah, me neither, but like at this point you can try and go for something higher than a 3K. You got your minimum amount required.
Yeah.
You got already you got 2 3K picks actually. So they could try and get some bigger name for 15K and decide to close with 10 player maybe.
Yeah, I think that's a good strategy actually. I don't know who is left as great names, and I guess we're going to see it because
that's always the thing about saving money, right? Is that you can save your money, you can not overpay for players, but then you get to the end of the draft and all the top players are gone.
Yeah.
So I think that the few like really, really good players who are left are going to command a really high price. That being said, I do see some players who are very accomplished on this list, and I don't know everyone, but I'm looking at Cortex is really, really good. He's top cut like a bunch of regionals in a row. I know Giso is a very good Italian player as well.
Yeah.
He was in the Puppies last year. I know
there is still Atmosphere too.
atmosphere. Sebas is one of the best South American players of all time, and he's still available. Melvin Ke is available. So yeah, there's still like a lot of really high-end players, but they're going to be going for a pretty hefty price, as all the teams that have a lot of money and not a ton of people to spend it on are going to have to really shell out for
There
it.
is still also Genius, fresh from.
I don't know. Yeah, there is Genius. Yeah, and
K-Swas is still on the board. Kevin Swastek.
Okay.
He's cut like 3 regionals in like between like 2018 and Indianapolis last year. I believe he started at 8-0 at Indianapolis with like the chef Dermanit and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been good for a while, and yeah, he's cut 3 regionals, I believe, and he's strong every time that he commits. And if he signs up, then I think that he's
going to get drafted.
Yeah, I think he's willing to play. So I'm surprised to see that not be a nom yet.
Yeah. Also, there are like Kakunaka hasn't been nominated yet, and there is Jude Lee. I don't know if his past history is going to not get him drafted. Might be, but he is a very solid player. Pretty one trick in the previous season, but yeah, he's come to Italy. We've met. He's a nice guy. Hope he gets drafted, even if he's got these dark past. I would say.
Yeah, but there is still a lot of good players. I can also see Oriol Plaza, Pokesan, Pink Sylvie, Sablai, VGC. I mean, any one of these probably, if you can get, I mean, a good pick for 15k, it's good value for the detectives for sure.
Yeah, and I was looking at the list.
Has CML gone yet?
What?
CML?
I don't think so.
I don't know if he signed up.
I think he is.
He's
on the
list.
Yeah, so there is
I'm surprised
CML.
about that too.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's
There are a lot of people. Yeah.
Oh.
Also, Mupang, I don't know him very much, but I know he's a very good player. I don't know if he got retained or not. I don't think so. No, he didn't. So yeah, he has to be nominated in my opinion. And yeah, we have Sebas. Is it Escalante?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
Could be.
if it's Escalante, I think we're going to see him nominated for sure.
I assume so. I mean, I know there's other fake Sebas around.
Yeah, I know of one. I don't know if it's the case. Oh, Tabu.
Oh, Jorge. Yeah, Jorge's still on the board.
I see YT is still on the board too. He's another very good player.
Okay.
I didn't know he signed up, but interesting. I'm surprised to see him not nommed either.
Yeah, Yuya Tada, pretty good player. I had him in team my last NPA year, I think 2 years ago, and he wasn't very active in chat, but yeah, very, very good player in my opinion.
To be fair, we're like still halfway through the draft. Like we are talking about detectives that they have reached the required amount, but like some teams don't even have half of the player required. So there is still a lot of good player left, but still a lot of picks necessary. So
I think about Jim Audrey as well, because he just won the Beanie tournament that ended today.
Yeah, that's right. I don't know if it's
and he's not nommed yet.
And it's signed up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, then we're going to see him, I think.
Yeah, the depth of this draft it's there.
Yeah, I mean, we still have a lot of names.
There's a lot of players.
Also, I know Umbri. I haven't talked to her. Like, I've never talked to her, but she's an Italian WU player, and I think there are some people from Swagon in the managers, so they might know her. And also, Weevo was with us at the SCL, and he tested a lot, so he could be a very good pick. WJ Bax is an Italian friend of mine. He's been wanting to put a lot of effort in this season. He's going to Bochum and maybe Utrecht. I'm not sure. Also, yeah, there are a lot of people. Yui, I'm not sure of the pronunciation. Yihui.
Oh, another
Yihui.
one. Missing Noel.
Okay.
Missing Noel. He's Mitchell Davies. He top cut like 2 early format regionals, and I think it was 2017 San Jose. I think he got top 4, and then Dallas he got top 8, and then I think after that in 2018 he also cut another regional. He's like 3 or 4 regional cuts, and he has 3 regional top 4s and 2 regional top 8s. And 2 regional top 16s.
Yeah.
And he also top 16 in the Anaheim Open.
Yeah, that's a huge player.
Like, I'm really surprised to not see him go. And like most of those regionals he had success in were early format regionals, which, for being honest, every format is like an early format.
Yeah, as Addy was saying.
Like, period, because of the series. Like, it's going to be every 2 months, and like format's not able to develop in time. So I think he's a really solid pick that like these teams should be looking into.
Yeah, we're probably going to see him nominated in a few minutes. We hope, at least. And Yuya Tada has been nominated in the meanwhile by Samurais.
Okay.
Yeah. And Symbionts are bidding because, as I was saying, Yuya Tada was with Symbionts in the last years, and they want him back. And
yeah, detectives are trying to put all their money in him now, which is understandable.
Yeah, that's a huge strategy. I think that's solid. And okay, so detectives. Okay, detectives have.
I'm really liking the detectives draft. Like, they got very good picks for low prices.
Yeah, that's a huge draft.
Yeah, and they can still take a low pick, so good for them.
And they have 5k for the last pick because they have 1 pick left. They cannot take 2 players at 5k, and let's see who they will try to get. But yeah, it's up to them to nominate. So let's see if they nominate a big name to let the draft run, or if they will nominate a 3k pick to keep that for them. Sven, okay, I don't think Sven is going to go at less than 5. Yeah.
Just a little bit of info on him. He has been the Division 1 like MVP for like the majority of the VCL season.
Okay.
He's been good for a while. He's from the Netherlands. Young player too. Pretty young player. And he's attending Utrecht as well, late in March. So he's going to be playing a lot and be very motivated. So if you want someone active that's from Europe, he's there.
Yeah, he's very
also
active.
He top 32 the Road to Columbus tournament with Lunadon. So he's been performing well for a while.
Yeah,
it's already over 10k.
Yeah, 11k, and as I was saying, is very active, and he provides a lot of testing mainly because he plays a lot. And yeah, if you say he's attending Utrecht this year, he's I think putting more effort. Oh, hi Sven. Yeah, he's in chat.
It seems to be between Puppies and Blizzards, and you went for the Blizzards.
Blizzards, yeah. So okay, Blizzards are at 6 players right now. Pretty good comp also, and it's up to them to nominate. Oh, Pink Sylvie, as we were talking about earlier, and I think she has a few original cuts.
I know she top it at Dallas in 2019.
Yeah,
she was undefeated going into the last round, and then Ken, Zehwan, who no longer plays, ended up playing her and winning. She was locked in anyway, so I don't know if she really was, that.
So the stars with 4 or 5k.
5k to the stars. So she's with
surprising.
You. Yeah, it's a very low price for Pink Sylvie.
So, I mean, 5k is a good price, so good for us.
And Kakunaka, as we were saying, got nominated already at 4k and a half, 5 for stars. So let's see, because Kakunaka is one of the Japanese players who interacts the most with the international community.
I expect him to go for a lot.
Yeah, this should be running up the numbers.
Yeah,
by a good margin.
Like Eastern players are always a huge pick because they provide Eastern players picks team building wise, and they interact with their own community, and they know what Japanese, Chinese, or Thailand players, I don't know, are playing at that moment of the format.
Yeah, I think that's actually a really good point. Like bringing different metagames together from like around the world, especially in these international tournaments, like that can be a huge edge sometimes. Because say like, I guess the main one would be like recently was that Kinagawa was using this Fire Spin Dragonite with multiscale, and then Francesco Pardini was, the one who paid attention to it and used it in Liverpool, when almost nobody else was ready for it. And yes, it was open team sheet, but you still have to react to those things.
Yeah, because it was like a very solid and I wouldn't say stole actually, but yeah, control team where Fire Spin plus Glamora has 2 mods, so it traps your Pokemon on the field and kills them, or if you switch them, they get poisoned. So there is this duality of the team. And so letting K for Kakunaka at stars with you guys, and Susei nominated. Susei is a very good Spanish, I think, player.
Yep.
And nominated by the puppies. And in the meanwhile, Dakpon said that Seba is Sebastian Escalante, and Seba's VGC, I don't know who he is at this point. He's just Escalante on the shoulder. What?
That might be Sebastian Lobos. I forgot what country he's from, but he's a Latin American player, and I've seen his name around.
Okay, yeah, I know him. Yeah.
For 6K to the puppies.
Oh, that's a pretty low price in my opinion.
Yeah.
What to say?
That's quite surprising considering he was the winner of the the January Series 12 tournament, like the one that had like 600 players in it, and that's another early meta tournament. So seeing him go for 6K is quite a shocker.
And Jump of TCG, I don't know this player, so
me neither, unfortunately. I'll try and check on the sign up forum.
We have group check. Jump left.
Top 4 at the and top 8 on another one. 2017 both. So
So I think this player is.
Oh, the tag is Kazuki Kanahira. I've seen this name before.
Okay.
This person's been around.
That was a few years ago, and I don't remember much about it. But they have been. It looks like the puppies have some experience with them and want them to keep them around. So.
Yeah, and the last results he's submitted are from 2017, so maybe he stopped playing and is starting back again, as we're talking about Lorsi, and I can't remember the other one. It wasn't Nowak.
Yeah, okay. Of course, notably, they were playing in 2020 for the NPA 9, and then it looks like they stopped again. So again, that same risk of when you pick an older player, how motivated are they to keep playing throughout the format, or is it just the new generation that really gets everyone excited for a little bit, and then that kind of adrenaline wears off? Yeah,
that's a very high risk in my opinion. But maybe he talked with the managers, and the managers are confident that they will keep playing throughout the season.
With the United?
Yeah, to the United. Okay.
So he is with Lorsi, as we were speaking.
Okay, they nominated Masto, who I don't know.
That's right.
Mastodon. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think he will go for 3K, but apparently, he will go for 3K. I have no idea why. So
I personally don't know that.
Well, that's bad, isn't it?
No.
I think this is the part of the draft where you can get players of his caliber for 3K.
Yeah.
Because everyone's trying to save their money for like that one or two, those few good players they still have in their draft plan. And as soon as those players go, and players like Mastodon are going to start going for 5, 6K, because there's no one left at that caliber,
Yeah, and maybe you have to.
Honestly, the Stars are also doing a good draft because they still have 35K and they did all the minimum required picks, so they can go crazy now, I guess.
And Genius for 6K. Genius for 6K.
That's good
at the Symbionts. You cannot lead Genius to the Symbionts with Fede Campo and Chichot already on their team. Like Fede Campo and Genius spend like 4 hours per night testing together on Discord, and I'm with them usually. That's why I know. And
I know some of the managers are listening right now. You need to start sniping these Italian players, or otherwise they're going to literally build Team Italy. Like, you need to start getting them.
Yeah,
like, you need to contest someone.
If I were the Stars, given the Stars at 35k, I would have probably upbeat Genius, because if you get him, like that's good value.
It's a very low price.
And you still have a lot of credits. You got all the required players. You can upbeat him probably, and still leave it to them, or take him for a low price. So.
And we have Carson Comfort going for already 17k. 2018.
Champion 2018. He took a long break after getting DQ'd from Memphis Regionals 2019 to play pro Fortnite, and was a competitive Fortnite player for several years, or for like a year or two. Came back and immediately cut Indianapolis Regionals in 2022 in his first event back. So
yeah, I mean, he was playing a.
In fact, he didn't have a team until like 5 days before the tournament.
Yeah, but he was playing.
He started playing the format. He got down Cali Shadow Ogre, and he just started like 6-0 at Indianapolis. Like,
so 18k and a half crowns.
Also, actually, it seems now the spreadsheet was updated. I mean, the line was moved down, so the minimum required player, I guess it's 10 and not 9.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Samurais are not in a good spot right now. Money-wise, they need.
We got 3 players.
Three players. So
3 players, yeah.
3 4K players. That's
actually fine. Fede is going to nominate every retained player. The Wobble Feds nominated by Federico. Yeah, keep trying stealing from puppies. I don't know. Let's see is second pick. And as we were saying, Genius recently got top 8 at Liverpool, and he's been testing a lot. I've used his team, and he's built a really nice team, actually, right after your regional, which I don't remember where it was.
San Diego.
San Diego, okay. After San Diego, he already had the team and just tested it for 2 weeks straight, and just fixed the things that needed to be fixed. And yeah, you have to be aware that he can build things from scratch, and that's important. The Saxlad nominated English player. I think he won a regional in 2017. I'm not sure about it.
I know he won a regional. I don't know when.
Okay.
And he literally just came back.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
To the scene, like, just came back like last month. So it's very cool to like see these old names returning again.
Yeah, he won Liverpool in 2018. I think the meta was still 2017, and 4K for a regional champion is not the correct price in my opinion.
I've seen the regional champions going 3K before, right?
Yeah.
The pop-up tournament too, like the EU friendly. That was just a few days ago. You got top 8 there.
Okay. Yeah, so you gotta respect that he's putting the effort in the new season.
He's back.
Fede keeps nominating people that are not on the list.
I guess it's a meme.
At this point, it's satire. At this point, it's satire for sure.
Jay Modry. So
okay,
he won the beanie, I think, some hours ago. Pretty nice run, and the format is still in the early phases, but you have to respect a player that has won a tournament in the format you are going to play for the first few months. And yeah, they do not respect it enough, in my opinion. 5K and a half to Symbionts.
Yeah, they spent about 9K for J Moderic plus Saxland, so good value there.
Yeah, actually, that makes no sense. And yeah, they're completing their roster. And
they also got Genius of 6K.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea.
It's really good value. And they already had the Fede Campo, Cicciotto, and Red Silver, and Crystal. So like all the draft is good.
It's incredible what they've done. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a robbery.
They even got like Fede Campo 16k, Cicciotto 23, Red Silver 14. I mean, they're all good price. Even Crystal.
Yeah, pretty low prices
just to fill out 3 slots.
Yeah, exactly. They have a lot of money.
38 left with the roster they have. Like it's like
yeah. Like the point is now they can even get, for example, with 38k easily Cicciotto, who is a very big friend of CML, who is a big friend of Cicciotto, and it's another Italian. So just to continue the trend.
And in the meanwhile, Mars got nominated and went to the Puppies for 7k.5. I think that's pretty low price. And let's see. Already nominated Bobber. I don't know who Bopper is, actually.
This is Blake Hopper. He got top 4. I'm sorry, not top 4. Top 16 at Worlds 3 years in a row. 2014, 2015, and 2016.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And he played some 17 and 18, I think, just like online for a bit, and then just kind of moved away from the game after that. And I know he's been playing for a few months since Scarlet Violet came back.
Mm-hmm.
I heard that he really wants to play, so I'm very excited to see like his name be here.
Yeah, so 11k, another.
Any surprise?
Yeah.
Which team he went to?
Yeah.
United.
United.
Is like, yeah.
Again. Yeah, so another old school player for the United.
Yeah.
And yeah, they trust their old school picks. And the max slots for the team to answer to original name are 15 slots. And Weibo, we've talked about him earlier. And Kiriakou was in the SCL team with us, so he knows him pretty well. And I think this is going to be a 3k pick. Yep. And that's a steal.
Shocking.
For
that's
sure.
Shocking.
Yeah. I don't know. He's not very known in the community.
Is he? Where is he from? Is he European?
Spain, should be.
Oh, Spain. Okay.
And where are the people in chat asking if Wolf has been drafted yet? Yeah. And yeah, Duckpond is is leaking the United strat, saying that the roster was active in 2014. Yeah, he's spoiling their strat.
So then.
And as we were saying before, we have Symbionts with a lot of money, and they have 3 slots to fill. And that's a lot of money to fill 3 slots. I mean, at least 3 slots. But yeah, they can go for another big name, in my opinion, if that's what they're going to do.
My eyes are on Blizzards and Cruisers right now, because they have a lot of money and they have a lot of spaces. So they need to start making some moves.
Yeah.
In proportion to picks, like Stars is the one with the most credit per pick, I'd say, left. And then there is Symbionts. And sure, Cruiser and Blizzard have a lot of credit. But they still need to fill a lot of slots, and both Stars and Symbionts have enough to upbeat them and increase their. So,
okay, we cannot hear you anymore.
Oh.
Okay, yeah, that's fine,
So William Sepsi went for 3k, and now it's.
Who? I don't know this guy, unfortunately.
This is
William Sepsi.
He's an Austin player. He lives right down the road from me.
Okay.
Great guy. And is also top cut San Diego regionals, which I think is 2nd or 3rd regional ever. Has been playing online for a long time. Very, very good player.
And you're talking about Tiki or William?
Tiki. William Sepsi, top 4 World Seniors in 2017. He worked with Carson on this like Bulu Kogo stuff with Araquanid, which is really cool.
Yeah, so we are curious to see what William will do in this tour, because I have no idea. I have never seen him play. So Tiki as
James went for 6.
Yeah, Tiki was went to Cruisers for 6k, as Adi was saying. He cut San Diego.
Yep.
I think that he also managed a team, or his girlfriend managed a team with Bat. Which might explain why they for one of the other leagues, which explains why they wanted him.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes
also.
a lot of sense.
And also he's a good player, but they have.
He's also very good.
Yeah. I mean, let's not. Yeah, let's give him the credit he deserves. And cruisers are up to the nomination, and cruisers have 5 players right now and have 47k. So that's
I guess amount
a
left,
lot of money.
Right?
Yeah, they need 5 players, and I think they have room for 2 big names at least. I mean, not 2 big names, because we are in the last part of the draft.
With the fact that they do have a lot of credit, but they're missing a lot of picks too. And the same goes with Blizzard. So if they try to go for the same pick, they might have to waste a lot of credits.
Yeah, and okay, they nominated Sapphire, Hong Kong champion, 2022.
Yep.
So I don't know if he's been interacting with the international community. So we're seeing a pretty slow bidding, and I don't know if he's going to. Yeah, actually, Andrew Ding is bidding to create and not create, like to improve the Chinese comp.
Yeah, he tried to get Kakunak as well before, but he didn't manage to. So
yeah, so they got Sapphire, and they have Chongjun, Bingji, and Sapphire. So Yuto.
Looking strong. Oh, CML was named.
Yeah, CML was nominated.
There we go.
And another Italian pick.
Yeah, expecting to go for a lot. No.
Yeah, actually, we will see if Fede tries to bid for CML as well, because it would be interesting.
I'd be happy if he happened to be in team with us. So let's see. But it doesn't seem the stars are betting for him now. So
I remember last year on the puppies, we were talking about him as like a potential high value pick for around 8-9k, and then he ended up going for 19k on the Samurais. So he's one of the like very good players who
are the Samurai like CML a lot, so they're definitely. I mean, they don't have the credit now for him, so that's it, I guess.
Yeah, actually, Fede is not bidding for CML, even if.
Yeah, that's surprising. I
expected the Symbionts to push for the Italian comp, but no.
Just 11k for the cruiser. I'm a bit surprised. Neither. I mean, the Symbionts didn't.
Yeah, and 11k and a half is a very low amount of money to spend on CML. Very solid builder, and I have never tested with him, neither I have been in team with him in any tours, so I don't know about the testing, but building, he's just impressive. So
he was the first player I saw do the sort of like Gremsnarl Venusaur stuff type of team in Series 8. That he beat me in a tournament, won the tournament, and then me and Raghav ended up using a very similar team in Players Cup to do very well in that. So yeah, definitely remember him as a very good builder.
Yeah. And Azazel,
Justin Karras is the nom for the detectives.
Yeah,
he got top 8 at Worlds in 2016. I know he's been grinding online tournaments. I haven't seen him get a ton of results in online tournaments recently, but he definitely is another old school player.
5K to the public.
He also debuted NAIC.
Yeah,
best year.
And 5K doesn't even make sense.
I mean, we have seen a lot of good players going for a very, very low price. The biggest one to me really is Battle Room. But,
Battle Room.
I guess we can say we are an NPA recession. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what is happening. And Shaman, Melvin K.
And I wonder if some of these players have to go for a little more, right? I think all these players,
at one point,
8, 7, 10 players, and still have 30k. They got to spend that money somehow. Yeah, they got to pick 1 or 2 players they want to go all in on.
Yeah.
And Melvin's one of those players who's top cut multiple internets. It would not shock me if he was one of those players.
The fact is, it's already slowing down.
It's not one of those players. I have no words. 6k to the United. So the United, with the old school core, they have also Melvin K, Pengi, Aaron Traylor, a lot of players that are doing well in the recent times also. And Aisuka, I have no idea who Aisuka is, unfortunately.
This is another Chinese player.
I've heard them,
but I don't have much info on them, but I know that they're very good.
Okay.
I've heard of them, but I don't really recall their results. So, but I do know they're good.
Yeah, Chinese for sure, GMT +8, but he's like, why are you signing up for NPA? Enjoy playing Pokemon was the answer. And why should a team draft you? Cheap. So we don't have many infos. And
6.5
and went to the Chinese core. So
of course, no surprise, I guess.
Yeah, and we should be scared of that team, in my opinion.
Yeah,
because you never know what they're gonna build. It's a very, very different team building process from continent to continent.
Yeah, the good thing, if you think about it, is that like players like Chunjun follow the US meta a lot, so they have both a big view on the Chinese meta, which tends to be a bit different, and the US one. So they do have both.
Yeah, exactly. And Mirai got nominated and went to the Detectives for 3K.
So Varun for 3K now to the Blizzard.
Whoa, okay.
Yeah,
Mirai and just both went for 3K.
Yeah.
So Mirai was on the Detectives last year. He was for a little more expensive, but he went 3-2. So he has some success in NPA, and I know he has some online results as well.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's good value for 3K.
And actually, I'm laughing because they tried to nominate Pontus, and perhaps you meant Genius. And this is this is nice because Genius in 2017 lost the day 2 to Pontus, taunting his Assault Vest Madsdale. And this has gone into history in the Italian community. So
still at the clip.
Yeah, there is a YouTube video in which Genius says, "And I taunt the Madsdale," and that's just legendary moment for us. And Pontus Westerlund, Swedish player, already at 10K. I don't know if
last year, Pontus went for 17K. He's part of that Blizzard's core.
Yeah.
He's always been in the Blizzards.
Well, he went
and
to
then
the Blizzard in the end.
He got upbid a bunch, and then eventually ended up the Blizzards had to let him go. And so here we see the Blizzards maybe not having as much of a focus on their old guard and kind of letting him go again for 10K.
Yeah, and he was part of the Blizzard's core because he's a very close friend to TamTam, I think. And both Swedish. And as you said, this year, they're not picking him. And
so Puppies just named Mija, who is the 2019 Korean national champion.
Yep.
And he won with the Puppies last year.
Yep.
And I think that other teams should start bidding right now, because if you want to pick a very good player and you have the budget for it, this is a player to go in on.
Yeah, it looks like they're fighting.
Last year I was with the Puppies, but just as a helper, I didn't sign up, and I did help from time to time in testing Mija, and they were very good, so I do expect them to go for a lot.
Yeah, in 2019, Korea also had a very heavy Ryoger meta, and despite of that, he said that he was not quoting him, but he basically said by bringing Ryoger to Nats, I am the best Ryoger player, and he just ended up winning. And when you're playing mirrors like that, it's very skill based. Unless if you're 2018 Metagross stuff, and that feels more read heavy, but for the most part, mirrors are very skill based. So I would not pass up on them if you have the chance.
Yeah, Top K and half to the Puppies. They managed to get him back, and I think they're very happy
in getting their old players compared to Blizzards. So there is that.
Yeah, I mean they're going to try to win the NPA back to back. So
third time in a row, right?
Yeah. So the previous format roster, I think, is pretty good if they won 2 years in a row. So they know their players pretty well. And Karmine, I'm going to let Banfox talk about him as well.
Carmine, another Italian player, and he went already for 3K. Well, he's friends with me, Chichot, and well, all of us. Good player, good team builder. You don't see him a lot because he doesn't actually participate in a lot of in real life tournaments. I think he went to Liverpool, but I don't know how he did. Maybe he did like 6-3 or 5 or 1.
Yeah, or X3 or X4. And also Robert Sombra went for 3K. These two
That's
are.
A good pickup.
Yeah, I have no idea what is happening. Okay, Shiloh for 3K.
Shiloh is a West Coast player, and he went
now it's
San Diego.
What did he do in San Diego?
Shiloh is a Smogon player.
7-3.
Okay.
Shiloh is head of tiering on Smogon apparently. So.
Okay. So yeah, he's been nominated by Monarchs, who have Z in the managers.
Here's a high value.
Yep.
Cortex started in 2020, and I think he cut all but one of the regionals he attended since he started. I think he just missed Salt Lake City, and that's it. So he's a very, very consistent newer player.
Sombra went with us. Okay, I missed that.
Yeah, Cortex for 6K, I think.
With us as well.
Ari's face says no.
Props to the stars for the draft they're making. And
Yeah.
they still have 29K left, and they have 4 picks remaining. And they don't even need to take 3 left.
Oh.
They have 3 picks maximum left. Okay.
Yeah, Gizzo nominated by the Symbionts, so another Italian player. This guy is a really great guy, so helps the team mood, and he plays a lot. He's also in voice chat, available to test, build, whatever you need to do. So 6K is
Just 6K.
I don't know. I could just shut up for the rest of the stream, and it would be comical.
Would have expected the Symbionts to want him, actually, given they nominated him and they have a lot of Italian players. But I guess
they had the squad and the money for it.
Yeah, they do have a lot of money.
Yeah, and Cruisers actually have Trainer Rob, CML, and Gizzo, so they have the Italian core as well.
Yeah, that works too.
Yeah, and Dark George. Okay, I know this guy. I just cannot remember how. I think in the I think I've played him in the Waka World Tour. I think, and yeah, I've been told he's a great guy, and he's pretty strong actually also. So 4.5. I'm not saying this is a steal because I don't know him very well. But yeah, that's a good price from my knowledge.
Also a very young player.
Very young, okay.
Like he aged up from seniors recently, I think a few years back. So
yeah, so he can improve a lot. Also in these tournaments, you give the opportunity to improve to a lot of players. Especially
the Samurais have how many money do they have left now? Like 9K, right? 9K, and they need 2 players, I think.
Yeah, so
Crown just nominated Yikui for 3K. And he goes for 3K.
Yikui for 3K? No, yeah, Ari keeps nodding as if this makes sense, but it doesn't make sense, so...
I think that makes sense. Like, Yui is, I think, he's an NPA caliber player, but I wouldn't want him starting every week. He gets comfortable with the team and kind of rolls with it, I think, and so he's going to be good for maybe like 2 or 3 weeks in a season. But you don't want to have a player who just is kind of forced to use the same team over and over again. That being said, he is very well connected with the Chinese community as well, and he really fits on this team. And he is a very solid player. I think he was 9th in North America the year that he tried really hard before he moved back to China. So
yeah, he was solid in top rating in NA for sure. I don't know if it was 9th, but yeah.
And Bravarius went for 3K too.
3K, okay.
Bravarius, I think former regional champion, old school regional champion, and now I don't know how much he plays. So
yeah, and he signed up as Bravarius. So I don't know if it's the same person. I think he is. And Certain Light nominated.
This is Sam Bentham. He's been playing for a long time. He's from the UK. I think he's dates back to like 2012, 2013, I think. Been around for a long time, and he just came off of top 16 at Liverpool. So
this year?
Oh, top 16,
a little bit of old and new. Yes.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, you gotta respect the results in the new format.
Select 6 stars.
Even if you're not going to play Series 1. And yeah, stars. So Starlight with you guys, and together with Kakunaka, Weevo, a lot of players that you have to respect, even if they maybe are new to the community. Kakunaka has been interacting a few years back, and yeah, Weevo, I expect him to do very well. And Major Bowman, 3K. Okay, 3K to the United. I didn't expect this to happen. I actually
he's another older player. Who plays DNU, I think, a little more than VGC right now, but he's playing a little more. I think he also commentated for a long time. So I'm not sure. Again, another player where I'm not sure how committed he is to like try harding VGC, but if he's playing NPA, he's been in NPA before. He knows what's up. I think he's a good pick.
And Kaoru, nominated a Spanish player.
He was with the Puppies in NPA 10, so they seem to try and want him back, but he went with the Samurai.
Yeah, Samurai
won World Cup with Spain.
Yeah, and I don't know. Yeah, I am saying at every player, but yeah, I don't know how 3.5K is right for this player. I think that's because people don't have much money. And Yoshi and Lugia, nominated from Canada. Maybe you guys know her well, better than us.
She's a Canadian player. She's done really well in the Hatteran series, and I think she made Day 2 Internats in 2018. But not a ton of accomplishments, but has been playing in Team Chorus a lot. And also is very good friends with Bat. And so no surprise that she's going to that team.
Yeah, 3K as well. And
very solid 3K.
Low is another Chinese player.
Where the money's
Chinese player.
People should be going in big on this, and it seems like Crown is going to probably spend all of their budget on this. No surprise. For those who don't know, this is MoMA. It's his tag online. He's been very good, and he was contesting MVP and SCL with his own teammates. Like, they all had like the top 3 slots. Very, very good player.
Yeah, top K, and I think
so.
This is fine.
The Crown wanted to upbid, but they didn't have enough credit to do so.
Yeah, so they just got outbid.
They couldn't spend 12.5 because they wouldn't have enough credits for the
other 2 picks.
Remaining players.
To fill out their roster. Yep.
Yeah, and Taboo, as we've said previously,
just
good player.
4K.
Yeah, he built the Zacian Colorx Shadow team that won the awards. He built it in like the first month, I think, of the format, and Edu just fixed it and won words undefeated. So
I think he changed like just Icy Wind and the spreads, and that was it.
Toned Thunders, I think.
Oh, yes. All right.
And yeah, Shao nominated 3.5K for the Symbionts. We're going pretty fast. Okay.
They should at least go for 5K, even though it's later on.
Yeah, Shao's a very good player.
Yep.
I guess now most teams are in the mentality and just bidding on the low pick I'm thinking about. I don't know.
Yeah,
because everyone is really going at like the minimum price.
Yeah.
If there's something like the Stars, right? You have a lot of money left, but you can't bid all that money because if you get stuck with a player, your draft is done.
Yeah.
And so you have to pick one player you want and keep him.
So the Stars actually have 2 picks left for 15K. And they can try everything on 1 pick or 2.
Yeah, Crown are the only team that needs to be careful about the money, because they need 3 players at least. And Binga, who just got nominated and taken for 3K, is the 2020 Korean national champion. I mean, that's what the sign-up says. So I trust the sign-up. And yeah,
that's a very good steal.
That's not a prize for a Korean national champion. No. And 2020 was, I think, the first pandemic year. So I don't know if this affected in any way the amount of people that took part in the Korean National Championship. But that's still a national champion. And Sempra got nominated.
Yep.
He's
a Canadian player that mostly plays online.
Okay. And they say
he's pretty good. He's been cutting like a lot of the online tournaments recently.
Yeah,
and he also plays in the Smogon Winter League on the King Gambits. So
if you have
that's a good pickup for 3.
You're looking for like potentially like high risk, high reward players, except it's not high risk because of 3K. That seems like a really good pick. That seems like a player that can pop off for a very low price and maybe retain next year.
Yeah, I think he's a steal, honestly.
Yeah,
it's a really good pickup.
They say they've cut almost every tournament in Series 1. So yeah, they've been pretty active lately.
He's been very good in Scarlet Violet.
Yeah, and Sven says he is 5-0 in the Winter League, Smogon. And Paggi got nominated and went
for 3K to the
Puppies. Italian player. Yeah, I've known him. He's one of the first people I've got in touch with when I started playing in 2017, and he's kept playing ever since. Yeah, he's also started a Twitch channel, so he's motivated more than ever to play, I think.
Yeah, it was very good. Then he stopped for a long time because he moved to Unite, where he managed to do some results with a team. And I mean, he actually did very well. And now he's moving back to VGC.
Yeah, and also while he was playing Unite, he kept playing a bit of VGC.
I mean, just not as much, but
yeah, not so seriously. And
Technos for 3K to the United, and now we are back to the Stars.
Yeah,
Technos
and
is a player who just came back to the game last year.
Yeah, Technosy went for 3K in the meanwhile, and he cut a lot of regionals throughout his career. I don't know if he's been playing that much lately. But yeah, that's a good pick for 3K. And
Yotam just went for a very cheap price, in my opinion. He's been cutting pretty much every single Series 1 and Series 2 tournament online, and some of them are having like hundreds of players, and he got runner-up at the EU Pop-Up Tour as well. He's been very consistent, and he just top-8'd Beanie Brawl, which was like yesterday and today, which had over 300 players as well. So
nice.
In my that's opinion, a thing you cannot ignore.
That is, in my opinion, a steal as well.
Yeah, and Zistrat went for 3K. I know this guy has been playing some team tours. I don't know any other results from him, but yeah, I think this is a good pick for 3K because he's experienced in team tours. And now Daishu nominated.
This is Rob Feely. He's a Boston area player. He got second place at a big Connecticut grassroots tournament. Has done well in a few online tours during the pandemic, but yeah, not a ton of huge accomplishments to his name. Got top 16 or top 32 at NAIC, I believe. So he's got some accomplishments, but he's also just well liked, especially within a couple of these communities. I know he's good friends with a lot of the Monarchs, so I'm not surprised that they're bidding a little higher on him.
Yeah, and yeah, they get him for 5K and a half, and yeah, this is going pretty fast. They have pretty clear ideas on who they want to draft right now.
Yeah,
and now that I said it, okay.
Audio Plaza, yeah,
Audio
they're
Plaza.
surely gonna get him. Like, they probably waited this long now that they have the most credit out of every team. So
3K, okay. For a guy that had a regional last year, and yeah, and this is Sebastian Escalante for real this time.
Okay.
Yeah, the Symbians are making a very good draft and really with very low prices too.
Not 3K for Sebastian Escalante, top 8 at 2017 Worlds.
Wait, Nachak asked to wait and ask who he was. So I don't know if they're going to.
I think that
might
have been confused between Seba and Sebas VGC.
Yeah.
It gets confusing, I guess.
Yeah, because they are complaining or just asking, who is this? but they were warned in the manager chat.
He also top 16 Worlds in 2016. And I believe did very well at like Argentina nationals, or like many regionals as well across those years. But took some time off and is back.
Yeah, but still at top 8 at Worlds. You got to respect that.
With Klefki too.
With Klefki. And I've used Klefki old post Worlds in 2017, so I love that guy. And Chosen Future at 3.5. Umbri, I talked about her some minutes ago. And 3K, Monarchs got her. As I was saying, she's known in the Smogon environment, and Z knows who she is. So
this is the Monarchs' last pick if they get them, or let's see.
It's very surprising seeing all these players go for so little, but there's really not much budget for other teams to like contest the bids. So when you're seeing Internet's Cuts players go for 3K and 3.5K, it's like
and there is still a lot of good players left, like Atmosphere and Itzkak, who did extremely well at regionals. Or even won a regional in Atmosphere case, and they're probably going to be among the last players at this point, I guess, and those who have the most credit will be able to get them for cheap. Okay, no?
Yeah, Atmosphere, as you were saying, is being nominated by Kiriakou, and I think he had a pretty nice run in a regional last year. I don't remember which one.
He had a really good run. He got second place at regionals.
Yeah, okay.
He's played in a bunch of team tours. I think he's been on the Blizzards a couple times before. I'm surprised they aren't bidding on him. I guess they don't have a decent amount of money.
I'm more surprised the fact that they're trying to slow bid rather than instantly going with 7.5, given that's all the credit Kiaru has. It's the last pick. You can take anyone else. Might as well go all in.
Yeah. But, okay, 7K. Let's see if they go for... Okay, then they don't go for the 7.5. And Atmosphere for 7K. That's a really good pick.
Yeah. Okay, so the stars finish. They have the maximum number of players possible.
Yeah,
I'm a bit surprised that the stars went for a 7K, risking the puppies deciding to go for 7.5 and upbidding them. Had they gone to 7.5 recently, the puppies wouldn't have been able to get him. So, but still, good for them.
Weird choice
for taking him.
And Celestic Stars are out of the draft, and
Kevin Swastek. There we go.
Yeah, happy with the draft.
Amazing 3K pickup if he goes for that much.
Yeah, it would be insane if he went for 3.
But
I guess he does. But I guess he does. Yeah.
There's so many like good players who I think are going to go for 3K just because everyone has 1 or 2 people slots on their roster.
Yeah, and they want to fill the.
And everybody, every team has that one player they want to pick up, and they're just eyeing them and waiting for their turn to nom. So understandable how they're.
That's totally understandable. I'm just thinking that
Apple Pie,
Rob
Ackershock. I didn't know he signed up, but this is cool.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
And 3K for Apple Pie. 3K for Apple Pie, yeah.
Didn't he have a very, very strong performance at EOIC?
Yeah.
In 2019?
Yeah, they got top 16.
Right? Or no, he got 9th, right? He bubbled?
Yeah, he bubbled, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's what happened.
And so 11-3, I think, was the score.
Zelda for 3K.
Zelda for 3K? Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, 2017.
I mean, at this point...
World's finalist in 3K.
Yeah, at this point, I'm just going to say the names and the price. And, yeah.
I'm not going to be surprised anymore.
I don't know.
I don't know who John is, unfortunately. But,
3K. I think they are a Chinese player. Maybe.
I'm going to check. GMT plus 9, so yeah. No, actually, their Discord handle is written in Korean.
This is Virgo. No, this is Virgo. He got he was day 1 at Worlds in 2016. Korean player.
Which blue?
Okay.
He's the rival of the main character.
Yeah, right.
Virgo's very good.
Looks like we're a Japanese player or Korean player, I think.
Blue is Korean, yeah. And cut the Victory Road World Cup
very
Open.
Very young player too. I think he's like 18 or 19 now, maybe. But he did very well in seniors when he was in seniors.
Kuro has been called by the Samurais.
Yeah, Kuro, Japanese player.
So actually, surprisingly, Samurai will end with one more player than the minimum required, given that so little amount of credit.
Samurais, they told me after I was asking them like, what's the plan, and they were like, yeah, like we know who we want for 3K. We know who our mids are going to be, and it seems like we got our guys. So
the fact that Kuro went for 3K is honestly insane because he top 16 in AIC.
Yeah, exactly.
Despite getting the down pair to Brady Smith, and I believe Brady Smith dropped after that, and he still bubbled into 16th. I think he had to win out, pretty much to get there.
The detectives finished too, right? Because they can't take anyone with 2K.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
And we have seen Finabas and Megamite for 3K both, and Rank Home now nominated. Yep. And yeah, this is going to be more than 3K. Because 4.5 already.
He went undefeated in Swiss, and I think it was Perth Regionals.
Went all in.
He's from New Zealand. And then he lost in top 8. But very good player, and not surprised to see him get nommed again this year.
Yeah, and he's a player we would have seen going for more than 4.5K, in my opinion.
Oh, for sure. It's just like the way the draft played out and how like some of these players just didn't get picked up earlier, and other teams don't have the budget.
Yeah, now the Gumi for 3K. And
I've seen this name around a lot. Good player.
I don't know who the Gumi is, honestly.
I don't recall their actual name, but I've seen the name around, and I've seen some good performances out of it.
So Harbinger
is Chinese player, right?
Hong Kong, I believe. He started out undefeated at Worlds in day 2 in 16. He was the one with Serious Groudon.
Okay, yeah. I remember that, yeah.
And he was Edward Chung. He was Wolf's only loss at Worlds that year.
Ooh, okay.
So very, very underrated player, and it's cool to see his name back.
And we are seeing actually him for 3K as all the players right now. Xinyu got top 30 in a ranked season in Sword and Shield towards the end, like in Series 12. Yeah, he says 4th Battle Stadium.
Really good player. Yeah, really good player.
And Chinese as well, right? Or Hong Kong?
Yes, I believe Chinese.
Okay.
Please correct me if I'm wrong. But I think that
money.
Oh, Hong Kong?
Okay. No, Hong Kong was Harbinger.
Oh, Edward Chung, okay.
Yeah. And so 7K.5, okay, 8. Yeah, okay, we're going high prices right now.
So if I'm not mistaken, I've seen Valentin almost bid entirely on Chinese players, right?
Yeah.
And one thing I noticed is that Tantam is being very good at always subbidding every Valentin pick, and she even stole some of them because she obviously noticed that Valentin is only bidding on Chinese players, I guess.
Yeah, so, that's pretty good point.
Good on her.
Yeah, Xinyu for 10K.
Yeah. And also, they only have 17.5 to fill out 3 more spots.
Yeah,
so they're not going to be able to match the bids because they need to conserve it.
Yeah. So
they still need 2 picks, so they basically go at minimum price. And so good job on Nicole for basically always bidding Valentin.
Yeah, and Fede is trying to nom Jacko Spaceman. He always played for the Symbionts. I think in the previous 4 or 5 years at least. And yeah, I've been playing with him during 2 of my years in the Symbionts, and he's a good guy, always been there. I think he will find his space in the team environment. And usually nobody bids Jake because they know he's going to Symbionts anyway. And
Symbionts literally can get anyone they want now. They get a crazy amount of good players for a low price. They'll probably be able to get Itzkak for 3K and stuff like that too. So not surprised at this point. They really made a great draft for a really low price.
I would say that the only caveat to having Philip on your team is that he's having a kid very soon, so that might take up some of his time. But outside of that, he's a very good player.
Sure, but if you're going to get him for 3K, it's still going to be very good value.
It's super fine.
Yes, for sure. Very good value.
Alexo.
I'm not going to dispute that. Very good player.
It's not like you only have 10 players. They have like a ton of players already who all are very good. So.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. This is not Alexo. Okay. I thought it was another guy, and he's been in the Argentina national team in the last, and he's played the last NPA. It says. So, yeah, he went to the Symbionts because, Fede and Juanfi must know him, and 3K for Alexo. And I have no idea how to pronounce this name every time I see it.
Silane.
Okay.
I know his Twitter is Slane. I believe it's Silane.
Okay.
So,
Nicole is still updating Valentin, and he wrote something in Chinese that I do not understand.
Very good player for 5K. One of those 3 that was in SCL that was like all on the same team, and all of them were gunning for the MVP spot, and no other team could touch them. So, very good pickup for them for 5K.
Yeah, for 5K because Nicole upbeat the player, as Banfox was saying. And now after the Monarchs...
it means forget him. I'll gift him to you. Okay.
Okay. Right now, missing Noel, as Giovanni was saying. So yeah, for 3K because we're in late draft, and after the United and Monarchs have completed the roster, so they're out of the draft. And
really good last pickup though, considering that they have a lot of American players. Like really good pickup.
So Symbionts have 2 players maximum left. They can pick, and they have 18K. This means they can put around 9K on each one, which means they literally have for each player more credit than any team but the Blizzards that have 13K, so they can try and beat just 1 pick.
Yeah, and United are trying to nominate Arekusabi. I think they know this is going to Symbionts. I think Symbionts are going to push for Areku.
Yeah, I mean,
unless they have. Okay. I thought they had like some kind of talk before the draft, and it was granted to go to the Symbionts.
Now that I'm thinking about it, one interesting thing is that last year they implemented a new system for the matchups, and the first round will be based on prices, right? And there is a ton of players who went actually for 3K, so that will be interesting.
That's gonna be week 1 pairings are gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Ooh, RKD.
Okay. Italian player. I've tested them for the first 2 weeks of the Series 1, and he's a pretty non-standard player. Like, he builds weird stuff, but his plays are very solid. So I think he's very underrated internationally. Let's see how he's going to do.
After this nom, there's going to be 6 players left in the draft, and I see some really good players left. I'm really surprised that some of these players aren't picked up.
I mean, there is that much space in the end, I guess.
Sella, just a lot of really good players left that Chef haven't picked up yet.
AJ went for 3K.
Yeah, 3K for AJ.
10th place, EUIC 2022. 2016 Shedinja player. Yeah.
And Darko for 3K, the crown.
Now it's back to the Symbionts.
Let's see. Darko is another Chinese player.
Yep.
I don't know what to expect from that team.
The crazy thing is like we haven't heard of some of these players before. So like we're gonna really find out like
what they're capable of.
How stacked their roster is. When week 1 and week 2 hit, we're gonna see. We're gonna find out the depth of this team.
Every team will have to do a lot of scouting against the Browns.
Like
it's not gonna be.
It's gonna be really hard to dig up info on these guys for sure.
And Ethox for 3K.
For 3K for the Symbionts.
Yeah, Okay.
I mean,
that's good.
No point trying to beat the symbionts at this point.
Yeah. So. You can try to steal some money from them, but that
for
doesn't
the
make
next
sense.
year retains. I mean, that's the only point.
Yeah. And right now, they want to nominate Shimo. Okay. Spanish player.
The last pick.
Yep. Spanish player. Shimo Blanche. Yeah. And very nice guy. And the Shich, I don't even know how to pronounce the nick. Shimo, Shich, I don't know. 3k for Shimo is nothing.
I mean, there is literally no point in bidding the.
Yeah, but they are keeping these picks for the last part of the draft.
Yeah, for sure.
So that they can.
It's not a real 3k pick. It's more casual. But I mean. It's good for them. The fact they managed to also get a lot of these pick for cheap will be also useful in the next season. They have a big number of good players that went for 3k. Like the 3, 4, 5, 6 players they managed to pick for 3k, and the other also are still low, and they basically can retain anyone for a good price next year.
Yeah. And we're seeing Angela Hunter as the last player to be nominated. Because they are all full. I mean, Blizzards are full, even if they have 4k left.
The United are full as well? Or?
Yeah. They're all full.
The last player?
Yeah, Angela Hunter was the last player.
Okay.
That's everyone. Crown just filling out their roster.
There is a lot of good players who haven't been even nominated.
So now we're like taking a look at the doc and the teams and the non-drafted player. Because I feel like there are a lot of players that should have been drafted.
Agreed.
Yeah, and that's one of those things where now the midseason draft is going to be really interesting, because if you want to hear like higher risk players, unknown players aren't performing, you really do have a lot of really good picks that you can pick up mid-season to try to shore up the back half of your roster.
Yeah, and we're here in the part of the doc with the undrafted players, and I mean, we can see the first 3 names, in my opinion, could have been drafted. Yep. And Aldrich, Alex Opoke should be a French player, and he was very strong back then when he played. I think he took a break. And Alex 123, I'm not sure.
Surprising as well.
And Banksino, Beanie, Banbil, Banster, Vertigo. There are a lot of players that I feel like they don't belong in this list.
Colding Light is on the list. He won the first really big the Victory Road tournament. Just didn't get drafted.
Chef.
It's a bummer, but in the end, every year someone is left out. Some team managed to finish these slots, some other didn't have enough credit to go on, or they would have been able to pick them up, but that's how it goes. So,
we can say though that the teams that have these empty slots for mid-season will have really, really incredible pickups. I mean, some of the best mid-season pickups we'll see ever, I think. Out of any season, I think now more than ever.
It reminded me how the mid-season
even Day is on this list. This list is incredible, and it's really sad that these guys didn't get picked up because a lot of money was blown early, especially on the retains. That's the reason that I think that this was really tough on a lot of teams.
Yeah, retains.
A lot of money was gone early from retains.
Exactly. Yeah. And I can see a lot of Italian players, but I can talk a lot about them, and maybe you don't even know them. I don't know if you know Dresiop, Euge, Supito.
I know, I've heard of Dresiop and Yui. Yeah.
Also Francis, who managed to cut.
Oh, Francis.
Didn't even get called.
Wait, Francis didn't go either?
Yeah, that's
sure? That's Phoenix?
Yeah, that's crazy.
No, okay. Yeah, Francis did. Francis is also pretty well known internationally. I don't know how he didn't get drafted.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Ashy, Gloom, Grandma's Cooking.
I can guarantee you that all of these managers right now that see this list of players who didn't get drafted are probably asking them right now to be helpers.
Yeah,
and then hopefully they
yeah.
can
Yeah, and Jin just won one of the NPA tryout, not so tryout, but yeah, tryout tours.
Tournament. Yep.
Yeah.
Ronnie, can you remind me how the mid-season works, like in the credit system? For example, samurais have 0 credit left. If they do not sell someone, they can get anyone at the mid-season, right?
Yeah, that's how it works. Yeah.
It's like at the mid-draft, player costs like 1.5k minimum, maybe. How was it? I don't remember.
3k maybe. Yeah, like you mean the minimum bid to?
Yeah, the minimum bid for the mid-season draft.
Yeah, 3k should be.
I think it has to be 3. I believe that being the case.
It's still 3k. Okay, then yeah. And if someone wants to go, they'll have to sell some player, any team, to try and get someone else. Okay.
Yeah, and we're looking at the list. Jude didn't get drafted.
Good player though. Good player.
Yeah, Joan Garcia, Justin Snores. I mean, he's a senior player, but he's still good.
Most internet wins of like all time.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So, I mean, at some point, Justin Snores is going to get picked and then just retained indefinitely because he's just getting better, and he was one of the senior players of all time.
Yeah, exactly.
Like at some point, you pick him up, even if you don't play him this year, just to retain him.
And then Lemon Pie, I have known him in a previous team tour. He's pretty good. Leon should be a French player. I think he cut Liverpool. If it's the same person, I don't know. The nick should be Leon. Then Loris Dime. Or Daima, I've never known. He's an Italian player, very good. Mancuso, Mava, another Italian player. Mr. GX, Neil, Mufang, Nerd of Now. I mean, there are a lot of players that didn't even get nominated. That doesn't make sense.
Ethan Tipton, is very good. Sable VGC is really good.
Yeah. Also, Pipagor, I think he's a Spanish player, and online he's been going pretty well in last year. So yeah, Siblai VGC, and I'm missing many others. Andrea Cassinese. Didn't get nominated.
That one too, right?
Yeah,
even he got top 16 at the Open recently.
Yep.
Yeah, day 2
and he
Worlds.
got a day 2 at Worlds, I think.
Yeah, day 2 invite.
Day 2 invite. Okay.
So yeah, pretty solid season.
There is a lot of players who I'm very surprised didn't even get called.
Yeah.
But like again, there is limited amount.
They're telling me right now that the reason the mid-season draft.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not going to see any of these players picked.
What? Wow.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
There is no mid-season draft.
Yeah, there's no mid-season draft. Yeah.
Well,
kind of unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah, CML in chat says I could be the team with just the undrafted names and compete to reach playoff.
Yeah.
And
honestly, like.
Yeah, actually, you could do that.
It's really surprising. For some players, maybe like Cassinese and Francis. The reason I can think of is that maybe Francis is more known as Phoenix, but the name is submitted is Francis.
That's true.
And so maybe maybe some captains didn't recognize him or stuff like that. And Super Andrea, some captain asked me about him, and I suggested him because he's a very good player. But they never really heard of him, surprisingly to me. Or also, like the nick maybe doesn't. You don't. I don't know. You don't remember Super Andrea as Andrea Cassinese. I don't know.
Yeah.
But for the other players, I don't know. But that's the only reason I can think about the two of them.
Yeah, it's a little disappointing to see. I would hope that there's some sort of compromise that comes up, like some sort of system that these players can play, because.
I don't think
not
so.
Not that there's the budget, but there's spots. I mean, it would be nice. I'm not saying that it's gonna happen or that I expect it to happen.
I agree with you. Yeah, it would be nice.
It would be cool to like.
I'm also surprised.
I feel like these guys deserve it. Like they really do.
That's just kind of how NPA has always been. Is that you know some good? It's such a stacked competition that some good players are always going to miss out. And also to some extent, it is a popularity contest. People say that like there's just too many good players. That once you get past that tip-top level, anyone can miss just based on your relationship with the managers and how well known you are and how you've been doing very recently. And so it is definitely a lot of these players definitely deserve, but also to are definitely of the caliber player that could be competing and doing very well in NPA. And yeah, sometimes it's just a little bit of a crapshoot, but you just gotta I don't know, like that happens. And sometimes also I guess depends on how you did in the previous year too. I don't know if these players have played in the past, if they have a reputation in team tours and whatnot.
For sure. I'm also sure that if there was no player cap, the Symbionts with those 12k would have been able to get many more other good players. Given they would have been able to take other 4 good players as they took everyone at 3k.
Yeah, they had like a 6-player streak that doesn't make sense. Crystal, Genius, the Saxlad, Jay Modry. I mean, honestly, even the last 5 that don't really make sense. Yeah.
But it was more of a situation where no one could beat them.
But yeah, Crystal for 13k, Red Silver 14, Fede Campo won the first 2 Scarlet and Violet tournaments. He's gone like 9-0 in yesterday Beanie tournament, and 16k is nothing. I mean, I have no words about it. And yeah, looking at the draft, I think they have the most like cracked team considering the prize, the Symbionts.
Yeah, probably overall I agree.
Oh, one thing that someone just noted was that we did remove 2 teams. We usually have more teams than this.
Oh yeah.
Which is part of why I think so many good players got drafted. Is you're used to seeing more players get
drafted. No new. I mean, no team. There was no replacement for those teams. Yeah, it's surprising.
I mean, 3 teams went out of the competition, and Crown replaced one of them. But yeah, there are no more 12 teams. There are just 10 this season. Yeah.
I think something else to like make note of. Like just outside of the
players, it's already like 20 less player pool, or even
like,
more.
Outside of just this draft board, I think that this season is going to be pretty interesting, at least the start of it, because I don't recall there being like a major like the week after the draft. Maybe there has been, but this in particular is like really interesting because we have a basis for a new format with a major that comes like right before week 1 starts, because this first week is just kind of like a grace period for teams to get to know each other. And so going into week 2, there's going to be like precedent set from Orlando Regionals, and that gives like a lot of like the work is somewhat already done for NPA players to kind of base their teams off of and grab some inspiration from going forward. Yeah, that's a big factor as well.
Yeah, and Orlando, I think, is going to change the power rankings of the teams, as well as giving some bases to build and counter in the meta. So I think we can like say who seems to be the favorite team right now, but we can only speak after Orlando. And
I think a lot of the rosters are really strong, like really, really strong.
Yeah.
I'm particularly impressed with Crown, like how they were able to round it out with their small budget towards the end, but they got it done after their 2 big retains. And it's really cool to see that United has like this basically Team Nugget bridge almost. Like a lot of old school players. Really cool to see. And yeah, I mean, I'm really excited to see like this old meets new kind of year in a new game and a new format, and with a completely new like centralizing mechanic, and I'm really excited for to see how that pans out this year.
Yeah, and I think with that we can end up the stream, and thank you guys for being with me for these 2.5 hours, and I hope you will get here in the next weeks. Maybe if I stream some games from the tournament. And yeah, thank you guys for following the stream. And yeah, I think I will stream some games on Fridays. And yeah, follow me on Twitter to get the notifications. So thank you and bye. Have a good one.
Bye.
Yep, been fun.